Hello internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Christian Muscular, and today we're having some fun and trying to create a color inspired by the Saja Boys from Kpop Demon Hunters. So I've been obsessed with this movie since I first watched it a few months ago now. So we're going to be trying to do a nice color inspired by the Saja Boys and also to create a tonal inspired by Mira's hair, because I think both colors will work well together if we are creating a sock set. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's do this. So we're doing the Saja Boys today. I'm super excited because I think it's such a fun color that we're going to be creating together. I've been thinking about this color for a little while because so far we've done very much blues and purples. So we're really going to be exploding colors basically because I want to represent each Saja Boys in those skeins. So we're going to have a little bit of the yellow here, the spearmint breeze for Abby, the lilac, baby blue eye because of the stripes that we can see on Ginu, and ballerina pink. There's a lot of pastel colors, so we're going to go in very low depth of shades for this one, and we're going to be speckling also with the magenta because I think it's Romance that has like the red, like the magenta and pink sweater thing, but it's also going to be representing the like little heart that they create from out of thin air because they're demons. And we're also going to be swatching with deep magenta and cherry red, cherry bomb for Mira because her hair color, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going more towards a reddish pink or like a pink. And don't forget to put your respirator on. You don't have to wear this exact one, but you need to have a respirator that will be able to block out the fine particles in the dye powders. We only have one pair of lungs. Please protect them. Okay, so we're going to do this with the sound muffled. Okay, so I'm going to be doing all my stock solution now, and I've placed everything in order to make it easier on me. Okay. And don't forget to put your scale at 0 between each colors. Okay. Okay, now that the dye is no longer in powder form, I can take my mask off and properly speak to you guys. So I need 400 milliliters because I'm going to be using 200 milliliters per sides because I will be using 2 skeins of yarn to experiment. And I am running out of water. It happens. Oh, I should grab more water because I am going to be swatching. going to turn on the kettle now, and we're going to move this aside just temporarily because I need the space because I want to swatch Mira. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to go more towards a magenta or if I'm going to go towards more like a pink reddish. So this is why I want to swatch both colors. And since we're going to be using very small quantity, I'm going to take out the very small scale. So I should probably grab my respirator once again because we are opening jars, and as soon as the jars are open, please use a respirator. Sorry, that was weird. I think you're used to my quirkiness now. We're all friends here, right? Okay. I will need. I need to make the math in my brain. Okay. What percentage would be good? So if we were going to go half. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So I had to do math and it was hard. So I'm going to be starting with a very low quantity because I don't want too much of it. And because it's going to be easier to be adding colors than it is to remove colors. And between each colors, please make sure that you are switching. Oh wow. That you are zeroing out your scale. So we're going to start with the pink one and the red. So like I feel like we're going to go more towards towards the magenta one, but I could be wrong. Like it's why I'm swatching both of them because I'm really unsure of what I want to do and the direction I'm going for. So when in doubt, I swatch for the both of them. And I'm swatching both with the same depth of shade because I think it's going to be a little easier for me to do the comparison when I'm ready to finalize the color. If it makes sense. It should make sense. Okay, we'll go in the pen. Okay, so what we're going to do. Okay, so I've already added the citric acid as you've seen, and I've added 2 cups of tap water here. And that is because I want the color to strike rather quickly because we have many colors that we want to be incorporating, and if we don't act quickly, we're gonna have a bad time because the colors will muffled. And I know that I'm usually one to work with layers of colors, which is technically it's pretty much what we're going to be working with. We're just going to be working slightly differently with those layers. See, this is what I mean because this is rather pinkish, almost like ballerina pink. We're gonna have to absolutely do a good comparison. Also, we still don't have any citric acid in this one yet. And same for the magenta one. See, this is what I mean. I think this would be too pink, where this is going to be more red pink. So I'll have to to look once it's fully dried out. So I think this is too pink, and so this is why I wanted to swatch both. Anyways. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're going to be working one color at a time, and I'm separating it by 200 milliliter. There we go. And as you can see, there's not as much resist since we have a low immersion situation here. So this is why the color moves a little bit more. But it's fine because I don't mind the colors mixing a little bit. There we go. So the first side is done. We're going to let this cook about 15 minutes, I would say. No, maybe 10 because the colors seems to be striking nicely. So we're going to let them cook for like 10 minutes. And then when we come back, we'll be adding, come on, we'll be adding the citric acid in our Mira colors. And yes, I thought it was hilarious to do Mira for the Saja Boys since they've decided that Abby, Romance, and Mira would be like a trouble. So, okay, let's work on those. Stop. There's water underneath and it's driving me nuts. Okay, I will see you in about. Okay, so we're going to be adding the citric acid first. And for the citric acid, we don't need a whole lot, so it's barely like half a teaspoon that we're adding in here. Because we only have, those are 20 grams mini skeins. So now let's go. Take a look here. All good. So we're going to be swapping. And you can see that we have a whole lot of white. That's because of all the natural resistance that we have in the skeins with the weight and all of that. So now, what I usually do is I would repeat the same colors on both sides. But here, what I want to do is I will be swapping the colors because I want here to create some oranges because of Abby's colors. His like blouse, is it a blouse or his shirt is this cute mint and orange. So that's what I want to do. I want to have some of those little orange color popping up. So this is why we are going to be doing this way. So we're still going to have some hints of pink, but we're also going to have those little orange hints. And you can see that the colors stayed really well where they currently are, and that is because of all the water that we currently have in here. It created those the natural resistance. So we're going to let this cook for another 10 minutes, and after that we're going to be speckling the skeins. Okay, so we are good to I want to do the twist to expose the portion of the skeins that don't have as much dye. So that is why I'm doing the twist here, and we're going to grab the respirator because you only have one pair of lungs. Okay, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Alrighty, so this looks terrifying, what I just did. However, it's for the good. It's for the greater good. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this cook for half an hour now. Yeah, it's too pink. And this is why we swatch. And I think this, it might be a little too light, but we'll see when it's dried out. Okay, so we're going to let this cook for half an hour, and then when it's done, we're going to turn off the heat, let it cool completely before washing it off. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. So I will not I could probably show you. Nah. Okay. I will see you when... Okay, so we're going to start by washing off the mini skeins for Mira's hair. And honestly, I think I'm pretty spot on for the hair color. But we're going to wait until we see the final result once it's fully dried up, because I want to make sure that I have the color I want, because it might be a little too light. And you see, this is way too pink, like way too pink. And we don't have any color left behind, which I'm very happy with. I'm always very happy when we have clear bath, especially when it comes to pink and reds. They do have a tendency, like, I'm not super surprised that we don't have any color left, because there's so little pigment that we've put in there, like, because we went for a more subtle color. Yeah, this is definitely more Mira than this one, so I'm happy I swatched both, because I really wanted to know for sure if I was on the right. So those ones will go in the spin dryer, and then we're going to grab our other skeins. And like, I know it looked scary when I just spickled on everything, but look at that. Good soup. Okay, so I'm just going to throw away the excess. Okay, so with those, I don't think we're going to see much bleeding. We had a clear bath. It's just the magenta that might, but I don't think it will bleed. Yeah, we're doing good. Good. And look at all those colors. So don't forget, it's going to go to look much lighter once it's dried up. Now it's just fully wet, so it is normal that it looks intense. Yeah, so clear bath. I'm going to put this in the spin dryer. And after that, we're going to let it fully dry overnight, and we'll see the final result tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow. And here's the final result for our Saja Boys inspired color and Mira inspired total. There is not the biggest of the difference between the two of them. This one is definitely more on the red side, and this one is definitely more on the pink side. So this is why I wanted to swatch both of them, because when I was watching the movie, I did watch it many times. To me, it seemed more on the red tone rather than the pink tone, so this is why I wanted it. I might pump up the color a tiny bit, add a pigment to it, but this is definitely the color I had in mind when I was coming to this. And for the Saja Boys, you can see that we have a lot of we have a Zoe that is just like, this is my show, but it's not. Okay, so with this colorway, I really wanted to have a variegated, and I wanted to have all those colors for the entire group. So we can see that we have those yellows, and when I added the pink towards the end, we were able to have those hint of orange. So this is why I swapped the colors when I did the second side. We have this minty color for Abby, still have the purples, all the pinks. So because we needed the pink, because that group is very soft colors and I really like it. So those are the colors. This is how it turned out. I'm very happy with how it turned out, because I don't work that way usually for creating colors. So at some point I will be adding it to the website if you're interested in a dyed to order color inspired by the Saja Boys and Mira. So I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye!